everybody out there in YouTube land. Chef Stephanie here for my weekly Tuesday savory video, coming to you live from the island of Naxos. I almost said Spain. Oh my God. Greece, Naxos, Greece. That's right. I'm a little off today because it was so windy. In fact, I almost blew away getting out my secret ingredient because today we're going to be deconstructing a classic. When you think of salads, look, a lot of people want to eat healthier nowadays. Some people have gotten COVID fatigue. They've gotten a couple of COVID kilos, maybe put on some weight. Some people are interested, it's now second month of the year, but a lot of times people want to eat healthier at the beginning of the year. In other words, January, and people want to get fit. And it's coming up on swimsuit season in some parts of the world. So it's really important we love to show a lot of different ingredients, but using them in unique and fun ways. So I'm going to show you a classic dish today, or a Greek salad, which is like a Greek village salad, but I'm going to be showing you some secret tips how to make it really unique. And as I was mentioning, I almost was blown away grabbing some of this. And for those of you who don't know, this is a stalk, a fresh herb that is very indicative of Greek cooking. It's also, it's used really widely throughout Europe, but especially here in Greece. So this is some fantastic fresh rosemary. I'm going to show you at the end how we're going to use this. But I want to bring you down and go through the ingredients with you. When you think of salads, oftentimes people in certain parts of the world think, oh, the first thing is lettuce. Well, this salad actually doesn't have lettuce. That's right, no lettuce. So if you have kids or anybody else in your family who's like, lettuce, disgusting. Well, no worries, because there's no lettuce in this recipe. But I'm going to bring you down and show you our key ingredients as we go down to see what we're going to use today. So, starting off in no particular order, we have some tomatoes. Now, we are here in winter right now, but believe it or not, we get a tremendously stellar tomato here in Greece, even in the middle of winter. So don't be worried. If you can't get good tomatoes, that's fine. I know sometimes they're more like pink and gross and a little bit not as flavorful, but I would recommend going for cherry tomatoes. Don't go for big tomatoes. These are actually more like a teardrop, but get the best, brightest cherry tomato you can get. Next, here we have a couple of different cucumber sizes that we have in Greece. And these, actually I'm going to post the recipe, of course, as I always do, below. These are what we call like Lebanese cucumbers, but here they are wonderful. And what I really like about these versus a traditional cucumber, they're much more flavorful. I'm going to show you here. These are like candy, and I'm saying that. And I know some of you are going to say, oh, well, this is definitely not ice cream. No, it's not ice cream, but I will tell you, these are much sweeter and more delicious than a traditional cucumber. They're a lot less watery, so they have a lot more flavor. They're a nice, beautiful, dark green color. So these are organic. They come in different sizes, so we have these kind of smaller ones here, and then they have bigger ones. In certain parts of the world, you're actually going to find them, they'll be known as Holland or Dutch cucumbers. They call them different things around the world, but you just want to try to find these ones that have they have more ridges and they're less watery. Okay. Now we're moving on to, we're going to use some green peppers. There are different, you can absolutely use a colored pepper, but the green pepper is the more classic. Sometimes they're lighter, but I wanted to use the classic green pepper today. And then red onion. Now, onions can vary a lot in terms of their potential, their potency is what the word I'm looking for, potency. So what I'm going to show you today is a unique, remember we're doing this deconstructed, and we're going to be doing a different shape and a different style. Oh, someone said something there. Whoa. We call the small cucumbers went away. Yes, Lebanese cucumbers. Anyway, I'll go back to that comment later. I missed it. So the red onions. In general, the red onions are going to be more flavorful, but like I mentioned, they're a little bit potent for some people because they are raw. It's a little bit much. So what I'm going to show you today is here in Greece, we actually have some of these beautiful really petite little onions. They're almost like a cocktail onion. I'm gonna show you how to prepare these so you're gonna have like less onion. Sometimes a mistake students make is they put too much onion in their salad and then it just becomes this giant onion fest. So you don't want to overload there. Next, we're going to be using some of our classic olives. So we are going to use some Kalamata olives, dark olives. So you can use any olive you like, but this is a classic one. These do have pits in them. I'm going to show you how to pit them. And then capers. Now these capers, unfortunately, these are the traditional ones that are really small and they're fine, but I prefer using ones that actually they're bigger ones and that have long stems. And I'll tell you later on why I like those. You get more bang for your buck, but also they're gonna plate even more interestingly in this dish. We're gonna use some sea salt. This is actually salt that comes right here from the Cyclades here in Naxos, right off the beach. Then we're gonna use some vegan feta. Now we do teach you how to make vegan feta if you wanna come to our cheese class, but if not, you can buy off the rack vegan feta or make it yourself. And then of course we have extra virgin olive oil. This also comes here right down the road from our Greek island. Literally we are in, as I mentioned, we are in the breadbasket of all of Greece. I know lots of people are really interested in coming and seeing that. So if you come, we'd love to show it to you. We have literally thousands and thousands of olive trees here on the island, and this is a local olive oil. And last but not least, we're gonna put some Greek oregano on there. So also local. So you can grow your own, you can dry your own, or you can even use fresh. But we're gonna use this dried today. So now I want to talk to you about what are we going to do? How is this going to be a little bit different? Well, what we're going to do is, because for those of you who know me, I love making tapas. That's my little Spanish bit coming through. And I love making things for people to entertain and to have something that is more fun, more festive, and it's just a new twist on an old classic. Because again, a Greek salad is very common. A lot of people know it. So now what we're going to do is, remember, first we're going to cut up all of our veggies, and I'm going to make small bite size, because instead of making this into a bowl, normally this will all just be chucked into a bowl and then slathered on with the olive oil, salt, and then you're done. And of course, well, the oregano. But today we're going to do a unique presentation. I have a couple of different ways. We're actually going to be making like kebabs using skewers. So we're going to use we're going to put some on the rosemary. We're going to put some, if you don't have rosemary, we're going to put some on some kebab sticks. And if you really want to go all out, I actually have some even little mini toothpickies that are even smaller and a little bit more decorative if you want to have mini minis. Okay, so let's get to it. I'm going to bring you down here, and I want to show you. So all I've done with this was, I know this is about the size. It's about 15 centimeters. My metric isn't great, but there you go. You know, kind of cubes. We want to think, so we're thinking about making a kebab, or thinking about putting all these on the skewer. So I'm going to put them on the skewer first. It's going to show you it's a little bit easier. So right now I have the cucumbers. I'm happy with that. That's good right there. I already have the capers. We will skewer them. And then you want to make all of your bits about the same size. So I'm just going to cut, and you definitely want to make sure that you get that membrane or the center part out of your green pepper there. So think once again about the same size. Now it's your choice. If you want to leave these kind of edges like long and offset, that's fine. It's a little more freeform, I call it. Or if you'd like to really make it square, and if you're more Italian and you want everything to be exactly the same size, you know, like a formal Italian garden. It's completely your choice. So I think those are already in the exact shape. We'll do it like that today, even though I normally would have it be more freeform, but we'll keep these more the same shape. See how that goes. All right, because we're just going to thread these. Remember, we're not going to grill these like a traditional kebab or skewer. We're just going to be putting these to plate them. So just want to have all your stuff prepped. All right, so I'm going to have, maybe I'll do one more cucumber here. Some of these are a little bit big, so think about what you can eat in one bite. Some people have bigger mouths than others. All right, so we have our cucumber. I'm gonna get my tomatoes here. Now, if these tomatoes actually are a little bit longer than a cherry tomato, so I'm gonna cut these in half. But it's your choice if you wanna leave them whole, totally up to you. Now, chefs, you can eat, by the way, you can eat the stem of this. This is absolutely edible. And look, it's adding a lot of texture, but I would recommend pulling it off. So we're just gonna cut these in half. And also cutting these is gonna prevent you from biting into it and squirting yourself or one of your friends in the eye. And I'll tell you, it's not fun. If you ever squirted yourself with lemons or even with a tomato, it's not fun. So do yourself a favor. So if you have cherry tomatoes that are round, that's fine, but just be aware, maybe you need to wear goggles when you're eating it. Just kidding. Okay, maybe I'll do a couple more of those. These are great, lots of antioxidants. Now, if you see, I'm alternating some colors here because I don't want to have all my green stuff together. If you did put the two green things together, they would kind of get lost. You wouldn't really notice it. So that's why I'm doing those two things. Now, I'm gonna grab I have a couple of my little onions peeled here. Eating this whole onion would be literally in a bite. That would be just way, way, way too much. So here's my little trick. So I cut off all the skin, of course. And now all I'm gonna do is just take that out. And so now it's just hollow. So see, we still wanna kind of maintain a similar size. So it still is about the same size, but there's a lot less onion. It's not gonna really blow you away in your mouth. So that's one version of how you can maintain the shape and the integrity of it. But if you can't get these cute little, wonderful little minis, and I love these because these are purple, and so they do add more color, and they also add more nutritional value. In general, the theory is that once something is darker, it does have more nutrition. So you can leave these smaller ones whole. I'm actually gonna cut this one because it's still a little bit too much for me. But once again, if you cannot get these, don't fret, don't worry. I'm gonna show you how you can just take this is about a traditional red onion. And so I will show you how you can cut this one. So cut it in half. And then now you're just gonna cut it in quarters. We're not going to use a lot, so I'm going to take out the center just to make it easy. And then now you just want to just take out literally one layer. There you go. So it's not quite as nice, it's not as round, but it's very similar. So that's another idea. These are actually easy, these are actually easier to thread, but they don't look as nice. But once again, to each his own, and it depends upon what you have available in your kitchen. So do a couple more of those. Dun, 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 dun. Remember, any of these discards, you can always go ahead and make veggie stock, or you can use it for whatever other recipe. You can make a mirepoix. Yes, that's right. Sneaking some French into our Greek class. All right, now we're moving right along to one of my favorite things. I'm going to show you how to pit an olive super duper duper easy. Now, we are going to be using some Kalamata olives. So these come from, there is a Greek island called Kalamata, yes. And these are much easier to pit with your hand than the green ones. So I recommend getting these. Just pull a couple out, and I'm going to show you how to do them so easily, so quickly. You're going to say to yourself, oh my gosh, I never have to worry about getting pitted olives ever again. So all you want to do is just take both ends of the olive and just squeeze. Now, once again, one end of this olive is going to be a little pointier, so don't poke yourself too much. But once you can feel it, then it's really easy. Just push there, and you can use both your hands. And then you just want to extract that pit. Really easy. So just pushing there, and you can push it literally out either end. There you go. So I did break it, but that's fine. So now you can, we're going to be threading it back onto the skewer. Some of them are easier than others. You know, it's almost like pitting a date. Just kind of work it there. You do it like that. Really easy, okay? I'll just do a couple more. So that's just the good old by the hands or by the finger method. If you'd rather do it, you can also squish it kind of like you do some garlic. If you make garlic, you cut garlic fresh, you can squeeze it down. Just push it down with your knife. Same type of thing. If you don't want to squeeze it with your fingers, it's your choice. So once again, you could do a couple at a time actually with a knife. If you have a big enough blade, just push. So there they are. And then you can easily extract these. We have our pits over here. Pits over here. And the discard pile. And, oh, this one's perfect. It didn't even break it. Okay. So now we have our olives. Dun, 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 dun. Capers. All right, so we have everything set up, and I have my station now, and then my feta. So now you're just going to start building your fantabulous salad with all of your elements. So, like I mentioned, I think we're going to start easy. I'll show you how to just do it with a skewer first. So you can start anywhere you like. I'll just start with one of the cucumbers, and then I'm going to put one of the tomatoes. And then I'm going to pop on a feta. Then I think I'm going to go in with an olive. Now, let's see. Now maybe now green pepper. Now the onion. And I'm going to put on 2 capers because they're kind of small. That's right. Voila. Easy peasy. Now, so there's one style. All right. And you can go back. It's like I said, you know, any shape or form you would like to make. But now I'm going to show you an even more groovy one, I think, because remember I talked to you how we have our rosemary. So all you need to do, I pulled this out of my garden, but if you don't have it, so you can buy rosemary, but you want to find stalks that are as straight as possible, as you can imagine, to try to make your shish kebab. And all you want to do is, I like this one I've already stemmed, so all you want to do is hold it, so one end is the end and the other end is going to be the thicker end. And then you just want to grab it and then take off all the rosemary. Now, of course you want to use that in some type of marinade or something, but just put that on the side. And what I like to do is I like to leave a little bit of the rosemary on the end. It adds some visual interest. So it also almost makes for like a handle. So I'm going to do about 3 or 4 more of these, make them about the same. And for those of you who come, we do have, Chef Jessica had a really unique way of using this also in our vegan cuisine class. So you can use this for a lot of things. You can soak these and you can make them true barbecue sticks for a lot of different applications. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm fine with 5. For those of you who come to my class also, we use odd numbers in terms of plating. Oh, someone said something. It says, oh, I can't see this. If you cut the end at the angle, makes easier. Yeah. So you can cut the end. Yep, that's true for meat. Yep, but I'm actually fine with this. I'm going to stub it right straight on. So yeah, Jess was one of my colleagues said you can cut the end and make it for easier threading. But all of these things are pretty soft, so I'm going to do less work here. So let's see. What do I want to start off with? I think I'll go in the same order. Now, you know what? Yeah, that's good. I'll do that. So I'm going to shove right on there. And it kind of has a natural ending right there with the, let's see, I'm going to reverse this. come on here with my... So it makes for a really nice display. Pop some of the... Oh, that feta broke. That's why you have extra. All right, feta and the olive. And my caper. We'll use some of those groovy trays. So you just want to make sure that, don't cut yourself, but yeah, you can mix and match. Look, and if you're making this for yourself, absolutely. If you know that you love tomatoes, use double tomatoes. I'm just putting on one of each, but it's your choice. And if you don't like something, then yeah, go ahead and omit it. But, ooh, there's, I gotta get my feta. Here I go with my... And if they come out to be different lengths, you can always cut them off. I'm going to put a couple of extra. I love these capers. Oops. Whoa. Ooh, my feta broke on that one. Some fetas are softer than the other. So now I know which one threads better. So I have two different types of fetas here. This softer one stays on better. And see, this is a longer one, so I like the color, so I'm actually going to put another tomato on this one. Boom. So you can mix and match. This is actually great for the kids. They can help you to make it really nice. So let's see while I continue here. I wonder, does anybody have any questions for me? I saw some, I don't know if anybody else is live with me. I do not know. I can't tell. All right. And you can mix and match. You can flick them back and forth. So you always want to make sure that you have all of your ingredients nice and cold. Because this salad typically is served, you don't want to have it be room temperature, so make sure you have everything, nice and cold, especially if you're going to be serving it in the brisk summer, cool summer. Although they say, here in I'll do another tomato on this one. Here in Naxos, they say even in the summers, it gets a little bit cool on the summer evenings, so. All right. All right, well, I'm going to do my rule of odd numbers. I have 3 there, so I think you get the idea. The only thing now we're going to do is drizzle some olive oil on here. Oh. All right, so we're going to come back, drizzle this oil on here. Oh, that's beautiful. Now, depending upon, we do want to put some salt on here, depending upon how salty your cheese is and how salty your olives are. But I am going to, I do want to put some salt on. And last but definitely not least, our oregano. You can make these ahead. These are nice. You can make them, I would say make them the same day, but you can make these ahead and have trays of these. You can pop them back in the fridge and they'd be really nice to go. So, there we go. The question was, is there any lemon or vinegar, lemon juice or vinegar in a Greek salad? The answer is No, we get the acid from our olives, from the cucumber, and from the tomato. So no, in this salad, chefs, there is not any vinegar or lemon. If someone's putting that on there, it means that it's not really authentic. It means that they're jonesing for, it means they probably don't know what they're doing. Anyway, so this is the classic Greek salad, deconstructed. So I hope that you choose to make this for your friends, for your family, for your next dinner party, maybe your next Super Bowl party, or your next family picnic. So I hope you, how do you eat it? Well, you stick it in your mouth and you eat it, that's all. And but before I do that, I'll take a picture. Actually, no, I'll tell you what. This is the one that's not gonna be in my picture. So you just stick it in your mouth and eat it. Straight away. Mm-hmm. You get the salt, the fat, the oil. You get the tanginess from the cheese, of course vegan, the delicious, really sweet tomatoes. One of my colleagues said she wants it in a sanga. That's Australian for sandwich. So yeah, tell me. So as soon as I finish, I'll put the recipe down below, and then hopefully you can make these in your own kitchen. Thanks for watching, and remember to check back next week, same time, Tuesdays at 1 o'clock Eastern European time, and as I do, a savory vegan dish. Thanks for watching. And if you haven't already done it, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out. And remember, Jessica's here on Thursdays always with her sweet treats. Thanks. Bye-bye.